Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. This just in from XRP drops. Brad Garlinghouse highlights a bright future. Okay, Gary Gensler will not be the chair of the SEC in probably a year and a half or 2 years' time. So Brad Garlinghouse giving his prediction on this. Of course, it's going to depend on what happens in the election this year. He says, though, there will be a new leader, there will be a new perspective. Here's the clip from Blockchain Week, which is happening in Paris right now.
I'll just make the point. Gary Gensler will not be the chair of the SEC in probably a year and a half or 2 years' time. There will be a new leader, there will be a new perspective, and I hope a more constructive perspective from the United States government on how to work with this industry. I think we all acknowledge this industry is not going away. And in events like Paris Blockchain, we keep growing for a reason.
So pretty bold statement there, insinuating that there will be a new administration in the White House, which means Gary Gensler's job will come to an end, hopefully within the next year and a half or 2 years time. That's at least what Brad Garlinghouse is predicting. So wanted to thank XRP Drops for posting that. Guys, more Ripple XRP partner news. This coming from Asia. Partner TransferGo has now raised $10 million to expand its remittance business in Asia, doubling its valuation. So you can see, Ripple partners have been quite successful, leveraging a better mousetrap for cross-border payments. This is a payments company. So TransferGo, the UK-based fintech best known as a consumer platform for global remittances, has raised another $10 million. So that is a growing funding round from Taiwan-based investor Taiwania Capital, with a view to expanding in the Asia-Pacific region. It last raised $50 million in a Series C funding round back in 2021. So TransferGo claims its growth combined with the new investment doubles its valuation. In September 2021, Dealroom valued it at $200 million to $300 million, but TransferGo declined to go into the specifics. The co-founder and CEO of TransferGo, he said, "We have been profitable for the last year and in and out, and the only burn was marketing, but the burn was very limited. We achieved sustainability of this business and became profitable, and we still have proceeds from the last funding round. So we are profitable. We don't need external capital to grow." So that is positive news here coming from TransferGo, a Ripple partner. Again, they've been a Ripple partner for a while. However, though, he saw the opportunity to raise funding from Asia to expand in Asia specifically. So, this was a UK-based company, but they do want to expand in Asia. Here he said, "We raised money because we wanted to expand faster in the Asia-Pacific region." So that's the next frontier for us. We are still taking customers from incumbents, which is really good. And, it makes sense. If the incumbents, this is what I was saying back in 2018, 2019, when I first started this channel, if the incumbents don't want to play ball, well, they're just going to lose their customer base to, these new companies, smaller companies, edgier companies using this brand new type of technology. Well, it's now 5 years on. The technology is no longer brand new. However, we're already seeing this take shape. So 75% come from cash, banks, and Western Unions. That's still the gorilla in the room. So he puts TransferGo's growth down to focusing on the customer experience. "We've always been probably the most consumer-centric company in the space," he said. "This is evident in our trusted reviews. Still better than others. We really build out the product for our consumers. So that instant settlement of 90%, 24/7 instant, customers do love that." And of course, as more millennials and Gen Z start, using banking technology or start, banking in a more meaningful capacity with larger sums, of course, they're going to want the convenience. This is the tech generation, the generation that grew up on technology. So it only makes sense that, a company like TransferGo would be doing well in these corridors. So some great news there. Also happen to see this, guys, from another Ripple partner, DLocal. Them and Papaya Global have now partnered for a global payroll solution. So cross-border payment platform DLocal is partnering with a payroll and payments platform, in this case, Papaya, to drive global workforce payments. Through this partnership, the companies aim to enable global firms to pay employees worldwide in local currencies in a timely fashion. The partnership is currently live in Latin America, including Chile, Colombia, and Mexico, in Asia, including Indonesia, Vietnam, and in Africa, with plans to expand in additional territories per the release. So they are already in South America, already in Asia, and looking to get into, already in Africa, but they're already, looking to expand to more territories. So guys, here's a quote. "In today's payment landscape, you simply cannot go global without thinking local." That's an interesting concept there. That coming from the head of the EMA region Augustin Bota, he said in a statement, leveraging DLocal solution tailored to specific emerging markets, mutual customers can easily execute payments with full compliance, irrespective of the varied payment ecosystems. Together, we are ensuring the offerings are of highest possible quality for customers to enable them to pay anyone, anywhere, and that is, the philosophy that should pervade, all these companies. Another quote down here: the partnership with DLocal is exciting because it speaks to the core of our mission at Papaya. So this is someone from the Papaya side. Together, we are reshaping the global payment landscape, ensuring a premium payment experience without borders or compromises, and providing our customers with a strong base for scale and growth. So cross-border payments, as this article states here, are becoming increasingly important. And, a lot of these companies are obviously realizing that. They mention down here that the number has grown since the pandemic. Traditional cross-border payment methods such as wire transfers are a significant source of friction for businesses. And now that these companies can run on DLT platforms like Ripple partner DLocal, it's only going to make it easier. And so expanding, again, another one of these smaller Ripple partners, well, at least they were smaller back several years ago, now are growing and partnering up with other companies in these regions to expand, to branch out. Right now, they are on 3 continents, but they are looking to expand even further. So some great news here coming from DLocal. American Express has also reiterated their stance and their partnership with Ripple, this one courtesy of Chad Steingraber. So this one from it looks like from their webpage here. American Express has a long history of integrating new technologies into innovative products and services that differentiate and enhance the customer experience. This coming from Mark Gordon, Executive Vice President and Chief Information Officer at American Express. He continues by saying this collaboration with Ripple and Santander represent the next step forward on our blockchain journey, evolving the way we move money around the world. So we already knew that American Express was a Ripple partner, but it's not hidden. I know some of these partnerships we hear about, and then they kind of, just fall to the, don't want to say fall to the wayside, but they kind of get lost in, all the other hoopla that's going on surrounding a lot of these companies. But here we have American Express, right, stating it directly here on their website. Global settlements, very, very important, even from back in 2023. Brad Garlinghouse was saying, we're taking a huge step forward with American Express and Santander and solving the problems corporate customers experience with global payments. Transfers that used to take days will be completed in real time, allowing money to move as fast as business today. So this is what Brad Garlinghouse said back in 2023. Anyway, another, great. It's good to see that these companies are still using Ripple, because that's the other thing. Sometimes we hear of these partnerships, older partnerships from back in the day. And I know I still, have it in my head that, oh yeah, Ripple's partnered with this company. And at that point in time they were, but down the road they dissolved the partnerships. So I have to keep up on this. It's good to see American Express is, outwardly stating that they are still partnered with Ripple and Santander for those reasons. So wanted to thank Chad for posting that. Guys, if you've been following, and I did a video on this morning, which I will link up here in the top right-hand corner, U.S. stablecoin regulation is on the table. The use of non-jurisdictional stablecoins, USDT has enabled widespread sanctions, evasion, okay? So this is a statement that just came out suggesting Russia. Guys, Russia is using USDT, the USDT stablecoin, to bypass economic sanctions. So this is undermining the U.S.'s sanctions, although who's to say that the U.S. should have any jurisdiction over what Russia does financially? You see how U.S. dollar dominance is becoming less and less significant. So this goes on to say, so undermining the effectiveness of sanctions regimes and allowing sanctioned individuals and entities to access the global financial system. This has significant implications for financial stability, monetary policy, and the integrity of the international financial system. So retweeting out Whale Alert's tweet here, just saying, the U.S. Treasury Department Secretary issues an official statement to Senate Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs Committee claiming that Russia is using USDT to bypass economic sanctions. And I will put up the press release here, the written testimony for you guys to peruse at your leisure or your leisure, however you want to call it. It's interesting because, guys, Russia's going to do what they want to do, okay? The BRICS nations are already actively changing the landscape of finance. So for them to even claim now, for them to even be concerned that they're using USDT, It's kind of laughable at this point in time. I mean, DLT technology is already changing the landscape for payments, but guys, the use of stablecoins is also going to be equally as important, if not more important. So Subjective Views here posting this, hot off the press, Senator Gillibrand and stablecoin legislation, okay, the first logical step for unlocking the potential of cryptocurrency. Here is Kirsten Gillibrand preparing to introduce new stablecoin legislation. Listen to this.
I also want to take the opportunity to focus on stablecoins. Stablecoins are a logical first regulatory step in unlocking the potential of crypto and the original aim of Bitcoin as a means of payment. We've worked with the Fed, Treasury, and the New York State Department of Financial Services to allow non-depository institutions to issue stablecoins while promoting more bipartisan and bicameral support. So I've been working with Senator Lummis, Chairman McHenry, Ranking Member Waters, the Biden administration, and regulatory stakeholders to develop stablecoin language that works for everybody. We're making sure that state and federal regulators have the oversight authority to weed out bad actors while still promoting growth and innovation. And we're requiring that all issuers make sure that the reserves are backed one-to-one. We're also developing two paths for the stablecoin users, for the stablecoin issuers. One path would be for depository institutions that would mirror the dual banking system. This path allows for both federal and state bank chartered depository institutions to become stablecoin issuers after an approval process. The other path would be for non-depository institutions, sometimes referred to as state non-bank pathway. This pathway would give the federal government supervisory authority over the state non-bank institutions while preserving states as the primary functional regulator. The precise details of this pathway, however, are still being ironed out, and we expect we'll introduce this legislation either at the end of this week or next week. The bill is a product of common sense compromise. It balances the interests of federal, state, and industry stakeholders and will help drive innovation in the cryptocurrency landscape. This process has taken multiple years, and a passable and agreed upon product is getting quite close. Negotiations are still taking place, and we have to continue to work collaboratively to get this signed into law. So those are all the details I can share with you about the negotiations today, but I can also tell you that I am very proud of this work, and I believe fully that stablecoins are a foundational regulatory step in unlocking the full potential of crypto assets like Bitcoin.
They are getting serious about stablecoins, and it seems like they're ramping it up. Most importantly, she explained how this legislation develops two paths for stablecoin issuers. Okay, the first path would be for depository institutions that would allow for both federal and state bank charter depository institutions to become stablecoin issuers after the approval process. So, guys, banks are going to have to custody stablecoins. This speaks to the whole, reason too why Ripple has now introduced a stablecoin or will be introducing a stablecoin. They already have the banking partnership, so think of which stablecoin will probably get more traction. The other path would be for non-depository institutions that would give the federal government supervisory authority over the state non-bank institutions while preserving states as the primary functional regulator. So it's going to be interesting to see how this rolls out in the coming months. And I feel like they're trying to ramp it up quickly. We already have, a crypto bull run underway. We already have Ripple now introducing their stablecoin, the one that will likely have the clarity, that's got transparency. Ripple has already said, all the things that they're going to do in order to, maintain transparency, uphold their, their end of the legality part of it, right? All these issuers need to be fully transparent and legal to work in the banking system. So it is no surprise to me, guys, this is all coordinated, that we did see the Bank for International Settlements also release their financial framework on stablecoins in that video I did this morning. So that is what we have from US Senate. Wanted to thank Subjective Views for posting that. Smoke also bringing this up, okay, a telling diagram. So this is an older diagram. Ripple directly connected to Swift GPI and enlarged as a dominant platform. So connecting platforms and applications. The Spanish translation on this, though, by 2025, there will be 5 blockchain and DLT platforms. So 5 dominant, blockchain and DLT platforms coming down the pike, and they were estimating at this point it would be 2025. I mean, with the stablecoin regulation coming, I think all the pieces are starting to fall into place, more or less. I think we might have a couple more, but not too much more, guys, before we see a fully fleshed out framework. And again, coinciding with the bull run of 2024 into 2025, one can only assume. The Ripple is going to be one of those major players. Obviously, they are already being discussed in major circles. So another great observation here from Smoke Guys on Twitter. The BCB group did announce just yesterday that they were thrilled to be not only part of Paris Blockchain Week, but also working with Ripple partner Medico. I don't care. You guys tell me how you want me to pronounce it. Maybe I will do a poll. Actually, here's what we're going to do. How do you want me to pronounce Metaco? And I'm going to turn that into a poll, and choice 1 is Metaco, and choice 2 will be Metaco. And you know what? Because I've been getting it from both sides. You're pronouncing it wrong. I'm just going to pronounce it however you guys want. Okay, so it's posted now. There you go. Ridiculous that I even have to do this, but there you go. So BCB Group, happy to be working with Medico, whatever, the Ripple-owned provider of digital asset infrastructure technology to consolidate governance of our digital asset custody operations on the platform that is this company. So major custody, guys. Understand why the Ripple stablecoin is such a big deal now. It's going to have a tremendous amount of uptake, I think, once it does get launched. And remember, as I was talking about in this morning's video, Brad Garlinghouse even said it at Paris Blockchain Week, it's going to be about driving more liquidity to the XRP ledger, and the stablecoin may be a bit of an accelerator for that. Now, XRP Drops also posting this. Ripple's new partner, BCB Group, defines the killer app of a stablecoin. The other day, I also did talk about how Nubank was becoming a killer app, or a super app, rather. If you guys didn't catch that video, I'll link it up here in the top right-hand corner. Another Ripple partner that's associated with Berkshire Hathaway. But here's Richard Crook from the BCB Group stating, well, I'll let him tell you.
Analogy was a good one, which is, why would you use Amazon when it's such a faff to get the dial-up to work and get the browser to work, when I could just go down to the shops? And it took good 2 decades before Amazon has really eclipsed the high street in the UK. And now there isn't anyone that isn't using Amazon or e-commerce rather than heading down to the high street, much to the woe of the high street retailers. And there's no difference here, where stablecoin, from my perspective, another analogy here is the gasoline that we're putting in the cars. The killer app is not stablecoin for me. It's what you're putting that stablecoin in, be it the DeFi protocols, which is removing a tremendous amount of friction from the financial services industry, which the normal person, be it the end investor or the institutional player, really struggles with, the friction that goes on as we try and move the value around the economy.
So it sounds as though what Richard Crook here is saying from BCB Group, who just recently partnered with Medico, whatever, he's saying, guys, it's not about the stablecoin itself, it's about the killer app. So the XRP ledger, the killer app, as Brad was saying this morning, guys, it needs to be liquid in order for it to be functional, and XRP needs to be liquid as well. All signs are pointing to the fact that these guys are trying to make this market as liquid as possible for 2024 into 2025 as we're getting this legislation coming in, the stablecoin legislation and cryptocurrency legislation at large. Guys, that's what's going to drive the price of XRP in 2024 and 2025. I really hope we get back up above all-time high. And if you guys want to see my predictions, my targets, all the coins that I'm trading this bull run, you can follow me at patreon.com/workingmoney channel. It is only $5 a month. I think that's a steal of a deal for what you guys are getting, but that's just my opinion. I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.